Hurry on. So welcome to our prenatal practice for our yoga teacher training number 3, the third one. So make sure that you've got your baby inside. Cushion, pillow, blanket, whatever it may be, something. Okay. And coming into a cross-legged position or a meditative asana, whichever one feels comfortable for you. And today we're going to bring our hands into a different mudra. We're going to bring it into Hridaya mudra, the heart mudra. So this is where you press your index at the base of your thumb, touch your middle finger and ring finger together. Okay, like this. And resting the backs of your hands on your knees. So this is helpful for strengthening of the heart, and it's helpful for lowering high blood pressure. So closing your eyes. Taking a deep breath in and out, allowing your body to relax. Your spine is upright, your shoulders relaxed, your face relaxed, your jaw relaxed. And as you inhale, remembering your resolve for a happy, healthy pregnancy, birth and baby, exhale, relax. Again, remembering the resolve for a happy, healthy pregnancy, birth and baby. Exhale, relax. And one more time, remembering the resolve as you inhale for a happy, healthy pregnancy, birth and baby. Exhale, relax. And repeating with me. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Gurave Namaha, Gurave Namaha. Gently open your eyes, releasing your hands, releasing your legs, and we're going to move into Shavasana. So you can take your Shavasana, you can use a bolster if you prefer, or you can use a side Shavasana. You know the options now. Make yourself comfortable. So your legs are apart. You can have your arms by the side, a little away from your body, palms facing upward, closing your eyes. Taking a deep breath in and out. And again in and out. Relax your face, all the muscles of your face, your eyes, nose, mouth and jaw. Relaxing your forehead, the crown of your head, the back of your head, your neck and throat, your shoulders, upper back, chest, your upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists and hands. Relax the middle of your back and your lower back. Relaxing your belly, your whole belly, the top of your belly, your lower belly, your sides. Relax your hips and pelvis, your bottom, your thighs, knees, calf muscles, shins, ankles, and your feet. Your whole body is relaxed. Your whole body. And become aware of the breath as it flows in and out. Follow the breath. And now, meditating on how precious and lucky you are to be a woman, and not just a woman, but a woman carrying a child. Realize that this is a very precious and important time in one's life, and such a short time in the whole of one's life that we must treasure it and enjoy each moment. Know that this is a time of transformation, a time when one moves from being not only a woman, but also a mother. In fact, remember the time you conceived, you became a mother. Remember all the peaceful times you've had so far since being pregnant. Remember the times when you felt happy, secure, and calm. Acknowledge this miracle inside you and what your body is doing to grow this child. Appreciate and thank your body for supporting this baby, and know that you have the inner strength and courage to bring this baby into the world and to raise this baby to the best of your abilities. Be grateful and remember the divinity within you. And now wriggling your fingers and toes, stretch out your arms and place your hands on your belly, reminding yourself of the baby. Okay. Now we're going to move onto our side. So we're going to practice Anantasana. Anantasana is Lord Vishnu pose. And we've actually got 6 types of Lord Vishnu pose Anantasana in our prenatal course. So we're going to do all of them. So you can do them with me, because you can see at the same time. So we'll start with the first one, which is where we lay. So you're on your side and your arm is raised. You bend your elbow and support your head. Okay. Now your other hand is in front of your chest. This is type 1. If it's difficult for you to have your head supported, you can have a bolster underneath. Most people like to have that stretch in the side, but everybody's different. And our hand is here as a support. Eventually, when we feel comfortable, we can have our body in a straight line and we can have our hand resting on our thigh. Now, Anantasana is also focusing on the core. Though you might not think it, especially when you're not pregnant, but there is a tendency to fall forward or fall back. Of course, in pregnancy, it's more forward because the weight's forward. But we want to try and have our body in a straight line. So that means from our elbow to our toes. Their tendency is for people to do this, like a banana. So we want to have that straight line. Okay, So this is the position. So it's actually a really nice way of gently strengthening the core without being tough. Okay, so we're holding this position. This is type 1. Now we're going to move into type 2. So type 2 is where we're bending our top leg and we're placing our foot onto our thigh. Our hand is in front. Some people prefer to have the toe down as a support. It's up to you. And we just stay here. If it's difficult to maintain this position, you can bend your lower leg. Okay, that'll make it a bit easier to stay balanced. Now this position is very, very helpful for the back. So anyone who's having back pain, especially sciatic pain, this is going to be really good. For some women, they might want to have like a nice bolster in front that they can kind of cuddle. They might want to do this on the lounge so they can be more relaxed and hold it for a longer period of time, because you can actually hold this, especially in a supported way, for a little bit longer, and it will give a lot of relief to the back. So this is type 2. So we put our leg down. Now type number 3 is a little bit stronger. This isn't always used during pregnancy or prenatal yoga. It depends on the comfort of the student, if they've practiced yoga before, how flexible they are. Of course, we can take variations too. So this is where we hold our toe and extend our leg. Of course, if you can't hold the toe, you could hold the ankle, you could hold behind on the calf muscle, whatever is comfortable. Remember, the lower leg can also be bent. So this is just a little bit stronger position, giving a stretch into the calf and the hamstring, not for back pain. Okay, remember that. Okay, so that's number 3. So not used as often, but it's still a nice practice if your students feel comfortable. We'll move on to type 4. So type 4 is another one that I use for back pain a lot. And actually this variation has evolved from pregnancy because this is a really good one for pregnancy. So bending the leg, okay, so our knee is bent and we're bringing our thigh towards it. So this is like the half gas release pose that we did last time, laying on our back. And it's really good for releasing the lower back as well. So if there's any kind of sciatic pain or just lower back pain, this is really nice. You can have the lower leg bent, of course. And actually this came about because when I was learning about more about labour and birth, and this is a position that many women do give birth in. So it's like a preparation for that as well. So I use this a lot, not only in pregnancy, but also for back pain classes. All right, let's release it. Okay, so that's type number 4. Now moving on to type number 5. So all we're doing here is we inhale, raising our leg up and exhaling down. Now there's 2 ways that you can do it. One is to keep your toes pointing forward. The other is to turn your toes out. Obviously they're going to have a different effect with your muscles. If you're turning your toes out, it's more on the inner thigh. You might have it somewhere in between. Go for your comfort. So we can do this as a movement, inhaling up, exhaling down. Of course, we don't have to lift that high either. Some people would maybe lift higher than that as well, but it can just be up to here too. Whatever is comfortable. And we can also maintain it. This is also used for strengthening of the back and toning the muscles of the thighs, the bottom, and also the core. Inhale and exhale, release. So this is type number 5. Now we'll move to the last one, type 6. So this is where we're raising our arm or lowering our arm onto the floor. Okay, resting our head down this time. Bring our other hand on top. And we're just inhaling, lifting up, and exhale down. Inhaling up, and you can go high if you want. Exhale down, but you don't have to. You can just be here too. Inhaling up, and exhaling down. There is a tendency to roll about, so you want to make sure you don't do that. Inhale up and exhale down. Okay, so now you can go onto your other side. You can just roll onto your side that I've got to turn around. so you can see. So we'll start with type 1. So supporting our head. So you want to make sure that your hand is in front of your chest to begin with, and your body is in a straight line. Okay, you can experiment with bolsters and things as well. Alright, so this is type 1. Now we'll move to type 2. So type 2, where our foot is on our thigh, and remembering that you can have the lower leg bent, so it's easier to balance if you prefer. And just relax the bottom, the pelvis. Okay, we'll move into type 3. So type 3 is where we interlock the fingers with the toe, or you can hold your ankle or your shin and extending the leg. So you're straightening the leg so you can stretch into the hamstring and into the calf. Breathing normally, trying not to fall forward or back. And release. Lowering your leg down. And we'll move to type number 4. So type number 4, bending our knee, bringing our hand behind, so our thigh towards us. Remember the option of having your knee bent. And releasing. Type number 5, inhale, raising your leg up, exhaling down. Remember, you can slightly rotate out if you want to. So using the breath, you can go at your own pace. Okay, and this time we're going to hold it. Breathing normally. And release on an exhale. Now we'll move to the last one, type 6. So bring your arm down to the floor, resting your head, other hand on top. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Okay. Coming up to sitting. So all of these movements is Anandasan versions 1 to 6. You don't have to do all of them in a class. In fact, I would never do all of them in the class. Generally, I'll just pick a couple. Obviously, some of them are more suitable for certain types of things. So if you've got back pain, you're going to do number 1, number 2, number 4. You might choose just to do one or two just for, toning the body and opening up the hips a little bit more. So this is our Anandasan. Now we are going to do one of the leg movements. So you can just see first what I'm doing, and then you're going to do it because this is in supine position. So again, taking care that with the leg movements, now not everyone will feel comfortable to lay on their back, as you know. So this is one of those movements that we do in supine. Of course, we can apply this same movement in other positions, which we will be doing. So laying on the back. Now what we're going to be doing, now the regular position or movement which we do in our normal class is where we inhale, raising our leg, and then we slowly rotate. So this is suitable for some women who feel comfortable. If their core is strong enough, they can do this one no problem. It might be that they just do 1 or 2 rounds and then do a couple of rounds back. How big the circle is will depend on what she feels. It's important not to make the circle so big that you're trying to contract everything so that you can make that big circle. It might just be a small circle. You're still going to get benefits. So it's helping to open up the hips, but it's also strengthening the core and strengthening the lower back. Now I'll show you some options here that you can take. First is just having the knee bent. This is much easier to do. Okay. Of course, it's not going to be as strong on your core, not so strong on your back, but especially when you want the focus to be more on loosening of your hips, then this is a nice option. If you're still finding a little tension in your back doing this, you can have your knee bent. Okay. And that just makes it a bit easier to do, again, more supportive. Okay, so you can choose whichever one you want to do. So laying down on your back, and I would actually suggest you try all of them, whether it's today, whether it's another day. So you've got the options. You've got your leg extended, where you're rotating. What's important here is you're not going really, really fast. Do it slowly with the breath. Okay, so you can have your leg straight, you can have your leg bent, you can have the other leg bent, and there's one other option, which is where the leg is straight and we're rotating. Okay, so this leg stays bent. Okay, so whatever you've been doing, now go the other way. Okay, keep it slow, keep the awareness on your breath, be aware of your joints, be aware of your belly, your lower back. Okay, and then finishing that round, continue. Now you're going to do it on the other side. So you can either keep the leg straight or bent, or use the other leg to have it bent. Continue that process, nice, slow movement. And the other way. Keep it nice and controlled, don't rush it. As I always say in our regular classes, we don't want a helicopter. Okay, nice, slow and controlled. And remembering when you're going to be teaching it, you can always get them to do 1 or 2, then rest, then 1 or 2 the other way, then rest, and you might do repetitions like that. Okay, so finishing with that round, and now just coming up to sitting position. So the next practice I'm going to show you is with the support of a wall. So you'll need to come to a wall. Hopefully you have one nearby. So I'm just going to show you 4 different asanas which we're using the support of the wall. All of them are poses that are really relaxing, and how long one stays in there will depend on one's comfort. As we've talked on already, for some women laying on their back later in pregnancy doesn't feel comfortable. These options are a little bit different. So some women might still be quite happy to be in them a little bit later, but as we've said many times again, every woman is different. The other thing that she can do for some of these positions is that if she can't lay on her back, then she can have her back at a 45-degree angle. So this might be where she uses 2 bolsters, and I'll show you that in our next class, how we can use 2 bolsters to have our back like this. So imagine this is one bolster, this is another one, and my back is here and my body, my legs are down here. So that's how we can be using the bolsters. And this is especially nice, like for a woman, say she's got a lot of fluid retention, she wants to put her legs up, but she's in her last month of pregnancy, doesn't feel comfortable to lay flat on her back, so she can have her back at a 45 degrees and then she can put her legs up. And it might end up kind of like a V shape. It doesn't have to be with her legs like straight up. So we can adapt it accordingly. We can also use a chair to put the legs up on. Yeah, so if we don't have a wall and we've got our back at a 45-degree angle with bolsters, then using our chair so our legs are at 90-degree bend at our knees, then that's also good. Okay, so I'm going to show you, hopefully you can't hear the cicadas really loudly that suddenly woke up. So what we're doing when we're pregnant or any time is that we come to the wall. We have to bring our bottom as close as we can to the wall. Okay, so as close as possible, then we slowly lay down. And then we put our legs up. Okay. And now we can either have our arms above our head, we can have our arms out to the side, we can have our hands on our belly. And it's nice just to take a little bit of distance between your feet because that just makes your pelvis more relaxed. So this position is Supta Uttanpadasana, the raised leg pose with wall support. So this is the first one. You can hold this for as long as you are comfortable for, really. It might be just 1 or 2 minutes, it might be 5 minutes, it might be 10 minutes. So especially if you've had restless legs, if you've had leg cramps, it can be nice to practice this. You may do some ankle movements while you're here, some rotations, all that kind of thing can be done. Now we're going to move on. We're not going to hold it that long in this class, but I'd like you to hold it yourself later on. We're going to move into Supta Ugrasana. So this is where we bring our legs apart. Now I've got these columns, so I can't bring my feet as far apart, though I might be able to this way. Okay. So as much as it's comfortable to go, not holding it for too long, because what happens is it feels comfortable and then you get out of it and it's sore. So don't extend it as far as you can go, just do it a little slightly less. So this is helpful for opening up the pelvis, but your back is still relaxed. Whereas when we do this in a sitting position, the tendency is to start hunching the back a little bit. So this is our next position, Supta Ugrasana, so the sleeping ferocious pose. Now the next one is the butterfly. So Supta Titilayasana, sleeping butterfly pose. You can experiment with where your heels are. They might be closer, they might be further away. You might want to rest your hands on your knees. You might want to very gently press your knees towards the wall. So again, this is one where the back stays in the same position, so the back is supported and you can hold it a bit longer. And now we'll move to our last one, which is Supta Pavanmuktasana, which is the gas release pose. So you notice I don't have my knees together and my feet together because that would be pressing on baby. I have my feet apart, my knees are apart, and how close you bring your feet down, you might want to have them further down, or that might be uncomfortable, so you might want to bring them further up, as per your comfort. So just breathing normally. Okay, and from here we're slowly going to roll down onto our side and come up to sitting position. So it would be really helpful for you if you practice these sometime at another time, maybe before you're going to bed or when you're having a little bit of time to relax, any wall or your bed, but just try holding them for a little bit longer period of time so you can really feel how comfortable they can be. What I also like to do sometimes is just have one bolster. So when I'm laying on my back, have one bolster along my spine, or even rolling up a yoga mat and put it along the spine. Just helps to like expand the chest a little bit more and just give a nice stretch. So you can experiment there. Now we're going to move into our cat. So on our hands and knees. Now we've already done this the last 2 times. We're inhaling, opening. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. So just continue at your own pace. Use your breath. And just be aware of your spine. The movement of your spine. You can have your eyes closed here. Just be really gentle. And coming back. Now we're going to do a variation here. We're going to come onto our forearms. Okay, so this is especially good if someone has wrist problems and they can't do the regular cat. They can do this. Okay, so we inhale and exhale. It feels a bit funny to start with, just because you're not used to it on your forearms. So just continue the practice. Okay, now we're going to do a little twist. So we're going to just raise our arm up and back. And the other side and back. One more time, raising up and back. And the other side and back. Okay, slowly come into child's pose, knees are apart. Breathing normally. And slowly coming up. Okay, so the next movement we're going to do, or not movement, asana, is Parigasana. Parigasana is the gate pose. And this is one that I like to use a lot for pregnancy. So we come up onto our knees. This is another thing to take care of, is lots of stuff on the knees. And that's why I always like to do lots of practices for strengthening the knees. Also because preparing the knees for later on is important. Preparing the knees for things like labour, where you might be on your hands and knees for quite a long time. So here you can have a cushion or a folded blanket under the knees if needed. Alright, so we're on our knees, our feet behind, and now slowly, and it is important to go slowly in pregnancy here, bring the foot out. Okay, we're turning, so I've got our foot in line with our knee, I've turned my toes out. Now some people don't like to have their toes turned out, some like to have the toes turned forward. It is slightly different stretch. One of the main reasons we're doing it here is to stretch the inner thigh, and you only get that if you turn your ankle. But for some they don't have the flexibility and they can't turn it that way. For some they might have the toe up. It's okay, over a period of time they can bring their foot down. Okay, so we want to have our hand on our hip, other hand is on our leg. So we're going to inhale, lifting the spine up, so you can do it with me, and exhale, sliding our hand down, okay, and staying there. Breathe normally. We don't want to come forward. We want to make sure that we're staying like, you know, as if you're between two panes of glass. And if that feels okay, raising the other arm above. Breathing normally. So you can feel a nice stretch into your inner thigh. You can also feel a nice stretch into the side. So it's a really nice position to do in pregnancy, the whole 9 months. Obviously for some women they might not be able to go as far in their later months, and that's okay. For some women they also might prefer just to stay here. You don't have to raise the arm. For some women they don't like to raise the arm above the head. You know, sometimes because it makes them feel like their chest is getting closed a bit. Or sometimes if they've got a little bit of acid, they might feel a little bit of discomfort to do this. Okay, inhale up and exhale down. That's where you always have to adapt. Okay, now actually before we move on to the other side, I'll just show you another variation that I give for some women. So we've done this side, then we bring our fingertips onto the ground, okay, and the other arm over. So it just gives a nice, interesting side stretch. Breathe normally. Okay, and releasing. Inhale up and exhale down. Let's do it on the other side. So slowly, bringing our foot out to the side. Our hand on our waist. Inhale, lifting your spine up. Exhaling, slide your hand down. Just as far as it's comfortable to go. Without bending forward. Breathing normally. Now, if it's comfortable, raising the arm. And just staying here. Try to relax. Try to relax the inner thigh. The waist. Okay, inhale up, exhale down. Now we'll do the other side. That little variation, so bring the fingertips onto the ground, raising the arm. Breathing normally. Okay, inhaling up, exhale down. Oh, that's noisy, that's a truck going past. Alright, so what we're going to do now is a version of Virasana. Virasana, the warrior, we normally do it in standing, but this is a warrior that's closer to the ground. And often I like to combine this one with Paragusana. It goes really well together. So we come up onto our knees, and then we slowly bring our foot forward, sliding our foot in front. Now normally we would have our foot in line with our hip. This time we're going to take 1 foot distance to the side. And then what we're going to do is you can have your hand on your thigh and slowly bending the knee. Just as far as it's comfortable to go. Now you might not be able to see me from there, so I better do it from the side. So bring my foot in front. Then just 1 foot out to the side, and then slowly bending. So here, just going as far as it's comfortable. The reason I take a full length of the foot out is to make sure that we don't have this, which is not very good for your knee. And how deep you go in the pelvis will just depend on flexibility and comfort. For some women they might be like this. That's absolutely fine too. Okay. If that feels nice and comfortable and you feel balanced, you can bring the hands into Namaskar. The other option you can have is one hand under baby and one hand on top. It's also a nice variation for pregnancy. Or if you prefer, you can raise your arms up. An easier option if your arms are raised up is to have your hands apart. It's a bit easier on your back. So take whatever option you prefer. And now slowly release. And while we're here, I like to just push the heel forward. And if you want, you can put your fingertips onto the ground, or you can hold the toes or the shin, just to give a nice little stretch into the calf muscle. Okay, alright. Now we'll practice on the other side, and I'll just show you from this way. So you can bring your other foot out in front. Make sure that you take it a little out to the side. I'll do it from this way. Alright, so you can see baby. Alright, so what we're going to do here is slowly bend our knee, just as far as it's comfortable to go. Oh, we've got a train going past now. Alright, so you can have the hands on baby, or have the hand on the knee, or have the hands together, or raised, or palms together. Lots of options here. And of course there's many more variations that I'm sure you know as well. Breathing normally. Okay, and we'll release the position. Push the heel forward a little. You can put the fingertips onto the ground, or have the hand on the shin, or hold the toes. Whatever it is fine. Just to get a nice little stretch. Breathing normally and releasing. Okay, so we've done our Virasana. Now, sitting on your bottom, bringing your legs out. So we're going to practice Chaki Chalan. Chaki Chalan, the grinding of the mill. It's one of the asanas, which is under Pawanmuktasana Series 3, Shakti Bandhas. And a lot of these asanas are used in pregnancy because they are very helpful for opening up the pelvis and also for strengthening the spine. So this one is good for the pelvis, but it also helps to build up the core strength. So we're interlocking the fingers, inhale, exhaling, bending forward and around. So how big your circle is will vary. Now for a woman who is in her last trimester of pregnancy, she might just do really little circles. And especially coming back, if we're coming back, it uses more of the core. So for some women, they won't be able to come as far back. And obviously you're only going to come as far forward as is comfortable. Now, continue the rotation. One other option I'll give you here, which I use in pregnancy, is to have the knees bent. It makes it much easier. You don't get that opening so much, and of course it's not as strong on the core, but it's another option. It's always good to have variations. Let's go the other way. So we're grinding our mill. Either the legs bent or straight. Don't do this. Lots of people do that. You keep your arms straight when you're coming back. Okay, relax. We're going to keep our legs apart. The next practice we're going to do is Gatyatmak Meru Vakrasana, which sounds very confusing. You can think of it as dynamic spinal twist. So I'll show you two different options. So our legs are apart. How far apart will depend on comfort, and there's a few other things to think about too with this. So the first one we'll try is just with the legs apart, regular amount. We inhale, raising our arms, exhale, twist, reaching for your toes or your ankle or your shin, and bringing your hand back. Inhale, exhale, 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 inhale and exhale, arms down. Now, easier option, knees bent. So we inhale, Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale back to the front. So that one is still good for your spine and your upper back especially. You feel it's really nice stretch in your shoulder blades, but you don't get that like a pelvic stretch as much, or stretch into the calves and the hamstrings. Another thing is that another way of doing it to get that upper back more but less in the pelvis is to have your feet closer together. So you see, when I reach for my foot, I can extend my arm a lot more. For me, at least, when I have my feet apart, I can't extend as much. It's more like 90, maybe slightly more, whereas when my feet are closer, I can get up to 180. So you can also experiment with the position of your feet, bringing them a little closer or a little further away. You need to think about what is the purpose of why you're including it in your lesson. All right, now, the next one we're going to do is another of the Shakti Bandhas, Rajukashanasana, which is the pulling the rope. And traditionally it's done with the legs in front, but in pregnancy, of course, you might not want to have the legs in front all the time. So you can have your legs crossed, or you can have the legs in front. And what we're doing is we've got our arms in front. We're imagining that we have a rope and we're pulling it. So we inhale, raising our arm up, and exhaling, clenching our rope. So using a bit of tension in our arm, slowly bringing that rope down. Now what you're also doing is following your thumb with your eyes. So you're not bringing your head up and down, you're following with your eyes. So let's continue. So we inhale and exhale. Inhale and swap over the arms. Exhale. So keep following with your eyes, so it's an eye exercise. Continue with your own breath. So it's an eye exercise. It's also good for the shoulders, the chest, the upper back. It's good postnatally too. You know, it's an easy practice for a woman to do postnatally, to just open up her body a little bit more. And of course that effect on the eyes will also help to improve the focus, concentration. Okay, so finish that practice. Now the next one we're going to do is actually just a movement, some movements for our hands and shoulders, which you can fit in anywhere. So put your hands in front, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. I'm rotating. So this is also good to do before things like cat pose, and the other way. Relax. Okay, we'll also do the elbows while we're here. So supporting the elbow, slowly rotating. And the other way. Okay, other side. And the other way. Okay, shake it out. Now bring your fingertips onto your shoulders. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and to the sides. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and relax. So just a nice movement for if there's any stiffness in your upper back or in your shoulders and chest. Now we're going to move to standing. So coming up onto your hands and knees, bring one foot up and the other, and standing. Okay, we're going to start with Vrikshasana, the tree pose. So here, have your feet together. We're going to inhale, raising our arms up above our head, palms together. I'm not sure if you can see my palm or not, but you know what to do. Find a point to focus on, and then we're going to inhale, lifting our heels and stretching from our toes to our fingertips. Breathing normally, just holding this position. It's a good balancing pose. You can apply Mula Bandha here. Now inhale and exhale, heels down, arms down. So this is Vrikshasana, the tree, and basically it's giving that stretch all the way from the toes to the fingertips. And it gives a lot of lengthening effect. It's similar to Tadasana, the palm tree, which we did last week, your last session. And it's really good for relieving tension in the spine. It's really good to do when you wake up, when you're going to bed at night, when you finished a yoga practice or you finish some meditation or pranayama and you're feeling a little bit stiff to do this. Of course, for some women, they might find it difficult to lift up the heels. We can use the wall as a support, and you can do like a half version. So one arm up, the other hand supported. We can also keep the other hand down and just work on from the toes to the hips. This is also going to be nice for your calf muscles, nice little stretch there, and also to strengthen your ankles. So that's Vrikshasana tree. Now we will do the other version of the tree, Ekapada Vrikshasana, which is the one-leg tree pose. So this is where we want to find a point to focus on, and then lifting our heel, and if we're new to it, we might just have our heel on our ankle and our toes stay on the ground and our hands in Namaskar. If we've been practicing for a while, or if we have the wall as a support, we can lift the foot a little bit higher. So wherever it is comfortable to go. So your hands together in Namaskar. If it feels okay, then you can lift up the hands, but there's no rush. Okay, and we're just breathing normally. We're trying to have our knee coming out, okay, so that we can open up the pelvis a little bit more. You can apply Mula Bandha, so it will be easier to maintain that position. Okay, and release. Bring your hands down and lowering your foot. Okay, so we'll go to the other side. So lifting up your heel, so your toes on the ground. If you want to go further, you can bring the foot up higher. Have your knee out to the side. Find a point to focus on and remember to breathe. Lifting up your hands if it feels comfortable for you. And here we still want to focus on lengthening. So we're lengthening from our foot up to our fingertips. And we're still breathing normally. Okay, and releasing. Bring your arms down and your foot down, checking out your legs. We're going to do Uttanasana, the squat and rise pose. So this is where we're turning our feet out a little bit. Okay, so our feet are apart, a little bit further than hip width apart, interlocking our fingers, keeping our spine upright. Inhale and exhale, coming down. Inhale up, exhale down. Okay, so how far you go will depend on your comfort. The whole point of this practice is it's very gradual. Okay? Someone who's not used to squatting, they can find it quite difficult to go all the way down, so they might want to just stay here. If you do go further, you want to make sure that you're not bending forward too much. You might need to take a bit more distance and come down. Okay, so whatever is comfortable for you to do. I can keep my knees creaking a bit here. Okay. Shake out the legs. So it's just a nice preparation for all the squatting positions and things that we'll be doing. Now we're going to do one more pose, which is Sulabh Trikonasana, the easy triangle. This is one I like to do a lot in pregnancy. I find women really enjoy it. It gives a nice stretch into the inner thighs, and it's nice for the upper back. And of course it has a strengthening effect. Like all these standing poses have a really nice strengthening effect on the legs. So bring your feet with far enough distance apart, okay, at least 3 foot distance. Turning your left foot out to the side. So my left foot is in line with the arch of my right foot. Okay, so here remember you're facing this direction. Now inhale, raise your arms from the side. And then exhaling, stretch towards the left. And don't turn your body towards the left where you're going to be twisting yourself. Extending to the left and bring your hand down. Now this hand, for pregnancy, you might keep it on the hip. Okay. Now you might have your hand on your thigh. It might be on your knee. It might be on your shin. It might be on your ankle. Whatever it is fine. If it is on your ankle, you don't want to be like this. Okay. You want to make sure that you're open. So your pelvis is open, your chest is open. So it's nice to start with the hand on the hip. If that feels comfortable, you can raise your arm. And looking up towards your fingertips, breathing normally. So putting pressure onto your toes and your heels, the whole of your feet, to maintain your position. Everything remains open. You're getting a nice stretch into the inner thigh. You're getting a stretch into your side, your chest, your upper back, your neck. Normal breathing. Okay, now slowly releasing, inhaling up and exhale, arms down, turning your toes. This time we're turning the right foot. Now if your feet are very close, it's going to be difficult for you to get that stretch. Okay, so if you want to increase that stretch, you want to take a little bit more distance. Okay, so you have to adjust it according to your comfort. Alright, so we inhale, exhale, extending towards the right side, bringing your hand down. You can either raise the arm or keep your hand on your hip to begin with. And it might stay there, or you might raise it up. So breathing normally. Trying to relax in this position as much as you can while maintaining stability. Again, you want to try to make sure that you're not bending forward. Now slowly inhale, raising your arms up. Exhale, arms down, turning your toes. And we're going to bring our feet together. And we're going to lay down. So you can come into Shavasana. You can have a bolster if you want. Or if you prefer side Shavasana, you can do that. Making yourself comfortable, closing your eyes, your palms up, upward, your feet apart. Taking a deep breath in and out, and again in and out. to relax your body. Inhaling peace, calmness, positivity. Exhaling any stress, any tension, any negativity. Feel the body relax more and more with every breath you take. And as your body relaxes, your mind also relaxes. Scanning your body from the crown of your head down to your toes. And breathing into any area that feels tense or tight. Okay, we're keeping this feeling of calmness. Gently wriggle your fingers and toes, stretch your arms, stretch your legs, and slowly open your eyes, stretch out your body. If you need to sigh, you need to yawn, or make another movement, you can do that. Remember, you're still pregnant. And now we're going to move into some breathing practice. We're going to inhale 4, exhale 8. If you want, you can stay in Tadasana, or you can roll to your side and come up to sitting position. You choose your option. So if you're in a sitting position, take one that feels comfortable for you, using a cushion if you need to. Keep your spine upright. And gently closing your eyes. Your palms facing down on your knees, or if you prefer, you can bring your hands into a mudra of your choice. Just become aware of your breath as it flows in and out. Remember that as we inhale, the belly comes out, and as we exhale, the belly goes in. Follow that movement of the breath. And I'm going to start with counting. We're going to inhale for 4 and exhale for 8. If exhaling for 8 is too long, then you can go back to 4:6 or 4:4. Or you can just do regular, slow breathing. Okay. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And normal breathing. If you are in Tadasana, you can roll onto your side and come up to sitting position. So the next practice we're going to do is Brahmari, deep breath. So there's an inhalation and an exhalation, and today we're just going to be doing the exhalation. So basically we're inhaling normally through our nostrils, and then we're going to exhale with a sound like Om, where we divide it into A, U and Ma, the Ma. So this is the sound. Now you'll find when you do Brahmari, you can actually exhale much longer than you normally would. So it's a really nice way of deep breathing. And also what we can do is we can block our ears. So we can block our ears with our fingertips, our index fingers, so our elbows are relaxed. Or we can block with our thumbs and have our fingers on our head. There's lots of options there. The other option is you can have your knees bent and you can block your ears. So all these options are there that you can decide on. When you block your ears, it just means that the vibrations that you hear and feel are going to be even more when you block. It's much stronger. So the benefits are actually much more. So you can see what you feel comfortable with. Not everyone feels comfortable with the sound being much louder. So the practice of Brahmari is really good for anxiety. It's helpful for women to sleep better at night. So if there's any kind of insomnia, it's useful for stress. It's useful for improving the healing in the body. So it stimulates the tissues, each cell to heal faster. And of course the vibrations that are coming from Brahmari are going to have a nice effect, not only on soothing the mother, but also on soothing baby. So you'll find if a pregnant lady chants Om, or she does Brahmari when she's pregnant, when the baby comes out and she does either of them, the baby remembers that and feels soothed and calmed straight away. So Brahmari is a really nice practice to do for all these reasons. Now we're going to take practice of Brahmari. So you can make sure that you're sitting up comfortably, closing your eyes. And we're chanting, well not chanting, but we're going to exhale. We're going to chant the Ma sound. We're going to make the sound of Ma 7 times. So your eyes are closed, your hands are in a mudra of your choice. Or you can block your ears, either option. Inhale. Normal breathing. Bring your hands to your belly, keeping your eyes closed. We're going to finish with the final prayer and Oms. Dage smrta harsi Pratitim Ashesha Jantoho Swaste Smrta Mati Mativa Shubhan Dadasi Daritya Dukkapaya Harnika Tvadanya Savopakarnaya Sadadra Chitta Savamangala Mangalye Shive Savata Sadike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Om Shanti 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 Om Shanti 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May there be peace in your body, mind and soul. As you inhale, remembering your resolve for a happy, healthy pregnancy, birth and baby. Exhale, relax. And again, inhaling, a resolve for a happy, healthy pregnancy, birth and baby. Exhale, relax. Bring your palms together, rubbing your palms. Place them over your eyes. And then slowly opening your eyes in your closed palms. Releasing your hands. Moving into Parvadasana, interlock your fingers, stretch your arms up. Inhale, exhale to the side. Inhale up, exhale other side. Inhale and exhale, bending forward. Sharanagat Mudra, surrender pose, breathing normally, letting go to that higher energy that guides us, that energy within us. Inhaling up, exhale, bring your arms down, hands to baby, thanking baby. Hari Om.